Raymond G. Carter Stadium, home of the TCU Horned Frogs. As we wind our way toward the end of another college football season, one of the grand traditions is paying tribute and respect to those who have just poured their souls into the success of this program and honor the seniors on Senior Day. As we'll see the number 4 team in the country, the Baylor Bears, taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the TCU Horned Frogs. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. Will kick it away first. And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. Set for a first down play. The give to the back. At the 35, he's got room. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
Man, I want to be a running back in this offense. When you take that handoff to the right and you see that blocking and all the holes open up, that's a good sight for a running back.
You've heard of read and react. I think the defense read it. They just didn't react very well.
Well, when you got that kind of a line, just all that push they're getting on that right side, they just pushed the defensive lineman back, got in the linebacker's laps, and man, oh man, it was brutal up front.
They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here. And they'll come to the line just needing a few chain links for a first down. The give to the back. They get him on the ground, but it's a first down.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
And the Horned Frogs have it with a 1st and 10. And fires complete to the right.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Let's see what they've got on second down. To the ground with the back. And they'll bring him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
Wow, the running back there showing you his skill set as he's able to rip off that one for a first down.
Setting up for a 1st and 10 from the 26. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Trying to find his man on first down. Unleashes one deep. That was an eyelash away from being picked off, and that is not the way to set the tone with a near pick on your opening drive. The biggest lie college football coaches tell is nameless, faceless opponent. David, game like this, you know their name and you know their face.
You know them well, and it does mean just a little bit more because it's bragging rights. Like the
time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
And this is what the offense knows they cannot do. They can't allow sacks. in their last game. They were sacked 5 times. Obviously lost that football game. And early in this one, they're having issues again keeping their quarterback standing up straight.
The 7th play of this opening drive will be a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Gonna take a shot. Oh, he dropped it, and what a missed opportunity early in this football game.
Tell you what, I don't know if the offense was expecting man coverage that time. 3rd and long in field goal range, you're expecting it to be zone. Instead, they lock them up man-to-man, everybody on an island, everybody won. They get the incompletion, now setting up 4th.
This offense wants to establish an aggressive identity. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. He's not afraid to go deep. Oh, and it's a pick. He threw it right into the double coverage. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And I tell you what, defensively, you want to set the tone, and you gave up a few plays, but bowed your neck, got a big turnover. That's what you dream about. You dream about forcing a turnover, especially on the first possession. Offense, it's your turn.
On the move is the 30. Oh, the sweet feet. And he's brought down, but a flag is also down. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. On the run, it's Marquez. Punches ahead, they'll give him a yard to the 13. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce on you and seize momentum.
It's caught. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a 1st down.
How great is it to have a running back who can basically run your entire route tree? You don't see a lot of guys line up and then run vertically down the field, get open, and make a big play. This dude is special.
What an impact from that last explosive play. They were pinned down in their own territory. Now 1st and 10 from their own 45. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They have had to wear that beat down since the last time these two met, Jesse.
And they've been talking about it for a long time. They were absolutely embarrassed. The players, the coaches, the fans. You know, David, coming into this game this time, they want to put out a much better performance.
Oh, there's nothing worse. The coaches are riding you all week leading up into this game, reminding you, showing the clips in the locker room. You know you failed. You want to come out and get a great start in this football game early.
You've got to give the O-line a lot of credit there, because it gave the receiver time to work all the way across the field on the drag route against zone coverage. Quarterback
open runway ahead. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop. Now the chance to pay off that big play from just outside the 5. Grabbed behind the line, it's Jones. Touchdown Bears! Made the grab and finished the deal in the end zone. If you're able to move the ball in a drive like that, the most overrated stat in football would be field position.
Agreed, and I think confidence is big right now after that last drive. To be able to flip the field like that, not just do it, but go down and score a touchdown. Running and throwing for this offense now moving forward in this game. That last drive is going to pay big dividends.
And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays, and they get it into the end zone with a 6-yard touchdown pass. The kickoff team out there and ready to go. And he's going to try to return this one. Didn't find much room at all as he'll go out of bounds at the 12. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake. They cough it up near their own goal line. Defense coming up with a huge fumble recovery. That ball was just lying there forever in the end zone, and the defense finally pounced on it. That ball was squirting around on the field, finally corralled by the defense, and they turn it into 6.
And it's so hard defensively. Do I jump on it and make sure I get it, or do I scoop it up and try to make the big play? He chose to scoop it up, and it pays off, makes the big play, gets the touchdown.
And he drops it just a little too slippery in the hands. The kickoff team just about set to go, and that defense is eager to get back out there after the scoop and score. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Gets it out to the 38-yard line after picking up 10 on that one.
And here we go. If you're an offense, you got to get that ground game going so you can have some balance, and then you give it to your quarterback, Palmer, and let him make some plays down the field later on.
Yeah, exactly. And coming into this game, this offense knew they were going to have to some ways.
The expressway is wide open. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32.
Those outside runs, if they can get the edge like they do, great job by the right guard, right tackle, getting the edge. And now what does this do? This makes cornerbacks come up and tackle. Safeties come up and tackle. As opposed to linebackers and big defensive players, you get your guy out in space where he can use his speed and his physicality against guys that usually cover and don't come up and make tackles.
Looking downfield, it's Everett. Dances away to buy time. He scrambled forward and got a few and turned that into a positive play.
Defense is all about creating negative plays, and he does a really good job at the quarterback spot of not taking sacks. Like, that's a great job. He wants to throw the football. The clock goes off, he takes off, and gets a positive gain.
Quarterback checking off. They've been running it, but now the pass. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the catch. And he will score. Touchdown, Horned Frogs.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. If this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback and wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
On to attempt the try. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Hey guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great top 25 matchup. Ohio State is currently ahead in this one, but it's been a tight one so far in Columbus. They're up by 9 over Nebraska. We'll circle
keeping an eye on it for us. They'll start this drive with a pass. Fires to the wideout. Catch in the middle. It's Jones. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains. And the Bears are in the hurry-up. He's got it on the right. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup. They'll line up for a second down play. That's now 200 catches in his career.
It's so impressive because of his dependability. This guy has been consistent, David, week in, week out. He shows up, and he makes plays.
And it's easy to coach a guy like that. Consistent, does the work, catches the football, you know where he's going to be. That's why he's got 200 catches.
On third and short, just trying to get enough for the first down. And they're able to get a third down stop here. See if they go for it on fourth. Maybe a tad out of field goal range and way too close to punt it. Kind of in no man's land, so they'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got it, and they convert. Not much of a fourth down gamble when it's that much of a sure thing, an easy conversion for this offense. The Bears are on the move. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the first down there.
Yeah, and you've got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were. Because of that, he gives up the first down. Need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, that play didn't stand a chance. I mean, nobody even blocked that guy. And he's able to get the tackle for loss.
They've started a pretty good drive. This will be the 7th play, but they need to convert 3rd and 5. He'll keep it himself. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. It's 4th down and 6, and they'll try to convert. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's caught! Touchdown, Baylor! A score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. 76 yards on the drive for the touchdown. And the score comes on a 17-yard throw for the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner is stopped. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. The last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offenses to find themselves as the game goes on. They had some things not go their way early, but they found something last drive, David. Let's see if they can build on it.
Yeah, you just pick and pick and pick until you find that place where you're like, okay, this is an advantage I have. They've clearly found that, dude. They score here, we're in for a ball game.
Got some of the work done on first. Now let's see what they have on second down. To the air, it's Everett. Throws to the wideout. A strike downfield. They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure. It's a first down.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football. Had time. Spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
He'll come out throwing on first down. On target. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. And a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
They'll go to the ground.
You ain't getting by all these guys right up the middle unless your offensive line and your tight ends and everybody is putting in the work up front, committing to blocking. The running back does a great job finding the hole, exploding through. How about that nice, big, huge gain? If I'm the OC, let's call that one again.
The Horned Frogs will line it up on first and 10. They'll ride the hot hand. At the 20, he's got space. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes a stop.
What a run. Great speed, great vision, elusiveness, and David, he's tackled down close to the goal line.
Yeah, and this offense, when you can run the football like this, man, you will have success, especially in the red zone, trying to get touchdowns.
First and goal, and this feels like their chance to make a game of it. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
When the offense gets in those multiple tight end looks, you kind of have a good understanding of what's coming. You don't know where the ball's going necessarily, but they'll put those big old bodies in there to block, to move people, to put more mass on the field, especially once you get in this red area where you have to be able to run the football effectively. Those passing windows tend to shrink a lot.
Got his man quickly. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, TCU! That touchdown grabbed the 25th of his career.
Not surprising either. When you've got this guy's ability at that position, quarterbacks are going to be looking for you. 25 touchdown catches, that's an impressive feat.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys that have been so big time. Big time moments, clutch plays, makes those contested catches. He's a guy that can do everything, and that's why he's putting up such great stats.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. So a drive there of 85 yards. And they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back and forth. This is like two heavyweights just trading blows, David. What does this defense got to do to get a stop here?
I tell you what, man, when you're giving up points like this and you've got no momentum, you've got to find somebody that can make a play to create something. And listen, if they're scoring anyways, let's be aggressive. Let's blitz more. Let's make sure we're making them feel discomfort in some way, shape, or form.
Off play action. Bought a little time, lets it go. Wide open downfield. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. Now they'll try to cash in this drive. 1st and 10 from the 50. They go to the ground. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. And the Bears want to crank the tempo. He's back to throw on 2nd down. Unloads to the wideout. Ball in the air. Intercepted. Got some room to run. He goes out of bounds, but what a play to create a sudden change opportunity. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. They took it down the field for a touchdown the last time they had it, and now an opportunity to take the lead in this football game.
So they got to be feeling good. They did their part, score. Your defense does your part, Jesse. This offense, keep that momentum. I would say stay aggressive here.
And just keep doing what you were doing in that last drive.
Oh, look out! And this defense is a half a beat behind. They just can't quite keep up. They've got it down to the 21. This is the kind of performance, guys, that sort of etches your name in the lore of a rivalry.
And playing big in this big moment, on this big stage, it is so nice to have a playmaker like that you can highlight, that you can focus on, that you can trust in.
He was so excited coming into this game, too, because he knows that oftentimes your legacy as a player is defined by how you play in rivalry games like this.
They ripped off a huge chunk, and now a little chunk is needed to pay it off. Wide receiver coming across in motion. They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
After getting nothing, it's 2nd and goal from the 6. They'll keep it on the ground, right up the gut, looking for 6. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. They got mauled on the last play. Do they have anything that'll work on 3rd and goal from the 2? The option look. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. Oh, the offense averts absolute disaster by falling on that fumble. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. They've decided to try to go for the field goal here. Kick is good. The offense has 3 points to show for the drive. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. Air Force was relentless today in a road win that frankly wasn't even as close as the final score indicates. This was a vintage Falcons performance, one that really should instill confidence within this program. 60 minutes of football and a convincing outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Here comes the Baylor offense back onto the field. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays, and I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw it this route.
Coming after him. Trying to make magic with his feet. And he scoots his way to the 1st down and then slides to avoid the hit. The Bears come to the line in the hurry-up. He's looking to throw it. Fires one high, deep. And he makes the grab and gets the foot down. What a job for a huge gain there.
That's a beautiful pass and catch. I love the job the quarterback does manipulating the defense with his eyes. He froze that safety, and that allowed his receiver more room to work his route.
This offense is about to face the one thing that can stop it. Time expiring in the first half. Before then, they can get another score. Quick touch pass to the receiver. Touchdown Bears! And they take it in for 6 more points.
And coming into the game, you look at the stats and you say top 10 offense in scoring, so they better be able to create what? Explosive plays. Another explosive plays. They've been doing it all year long. Those plays are backbreakers. Defenses just can't contain this offense.
Lining up to add another. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. The kickoff team out there set to boot it away.
27, TCU 17.
On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here. We're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. That kind of play will put a jolt into a drive. It's 1st and 10 from just inside the 40. Fast motion from the offense. Back to throw, it's Everett. He rifles one deep down the right side.
You know, it's a good decision by the QB because his intended target wasn't open, so throw it out of bounds, and you can live to play another day here on this drive.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. Wants to throw on 2nd down. Quarterback strolling away from Heat. He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left.
And on that incompletion, I think the quarterback was being just a bit too careful, trying to throw that ball too far outside, obviously aware that the defenders are coming from the inside. You don't want to put it behind the intended target and risk the pick 6, but he needs to be more accurate.
One more snap coming before halftime. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Pocket starts to collapse. And he intercepts it. Trying to take it back. The 30. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Baylor! The defense puts 6 on the board with a big-time interception return. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance. Look, a lot of time left. There's a little bit of distance right now being put on the scoreboard.
There is, but it's so awesome when you're a defense and you study all week about what's coming and what routes to be ready for, and then you jump the route and you make the plays and you just go get in that end zone. It is so beautiful.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they now have a 3-possession lead at 17. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. I guess they're trying to send a message to start this second half, lined up for an onside kick. Looks as if the hands team will be able to recover the ball. Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. On the option. Now the toss. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
And that's all you want, right? You want that first down, understand the situation, understand I got to get north and south, get a first down, get a new set of downs.
Pulls it and fires to the left. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that first down.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too, but don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
Wide receiver now comes in motion. Got his man downfield. Touchdown Bears! And the beatdown has ensued. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Palmer.
And I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And the scoring play comes on a touchdown pass from 22 yards out. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. But the ball pops out on the return. How in the world did the offense retain possession?
Wow, they narrowly avoid disaster there. They fumble the kick return, and if that goes to the other team, all the momentum is no longer with them. So a nice job being able to pounce back on that, and the head coach breathing a huge sigh of relief. And David, how demoralizing does it have to be for a defense when you know they're going to run it, everyone in the stadium knows they're going to run it, and still you cannot stop it?
There's nothing more demoralizing as a defensive lineman because it ticks you off. It gets in your head. You know that guy's going to come off and smack you, and you got to do something about it. I think the defense may be time to start committing more guys to stopping that run, not worrying about the pass as much.
They'll try the run. What a nifty run there to pick up the first down.
This is an offense that really sees their identity as being able to run the football. Nice job there picking up the first down.
And the Horned Frogs have it with a 1st and 10. Give to the running back. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, this coaching staff, they're getting this offensive line lathered up and into a rhythm. Now they're letting them drive off the ball on first down on these running plays, and they're getting chunks of yardage.
Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. After the run, now to throw. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion. If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a 3rd down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast. Fires to the middle. Pulls it in. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one.
Hey, nice job by the offense there, attacking the middle of the field. Excellent route, finding the soft spot in the defense. Nice job by the quarterback putting it right on his guy.
To the air, it's Everett. Flushed out of the pocket. He makes a grab, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Horned Frogs! Like a Thanksgiving turkey, they're just being carved. No shot. They have no idea how to get in this quarterback's head.
He's on fire. Everything he's doing is working defensively. We got to figure something out. We got to try to do something a little bit different. Bring more pressure. At this rate, shoot, he's on so much fire. You might as well just send everybody. Blitz everybody, live with the results, because everything else ain't working anyways.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Here comes the Baylor offense back onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
6-yard pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and 4. He's looking to throw. Fires to the wideout. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down. And the Bears want to pick up the tempo. He'll set up to throw. Setting up the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
Man, this defense just has so much speed. You saw it on that 3rd down play. The offense is trying to get a quick one, see if they can get a block and maybe spring a guy free, but the pursuit, wow, that was so good defensively.
That's usually prime return position, but he'll make the fair catch just outside the 40. TCU has it back and the Horned Frogs go on offense. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time, and that pass is caught at the 25. And he takes it all the way. They couldn't stop him. Touchdown, TCU!
Big-time players make big plays in big games. And it seems like each and every week when this guy has an opportunity in the end zone, he's coming up with the big one. That time, great job focusing and concentration. Defense not able to cover him. That's his now 10th receiving touchdown on the year.
Two-point conversion attempt is on the way. Looking to pass. It's Everett. Throws to the wideout. To the end zone, and it's picked off.
The attempt at the two-point conversion.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. After giving up that last touchdown, they still got the lead, but now feeling a little bit of pressure to answer with one of their own, David.
And it gets a little bit tight. Listen, we're getting later in the ball game this off. Last time, they got to find a few plays, Palmer, that they really love here. Steal some momentum back in this ball game.
They do, David, and after watching their defense just get gashed down the field that last drive, the dream drive for this offense would be to matriculate the ball down the field, eat up some clock, and finish it off with a touchdown.
Man, who says you can't run up the middle anymore, right? Everybody thinks, I got to make big plays. I got to go way out to the left, way out to the right, way out in space. Nope, right down the middle. Nice blocking. How about the running back? You could tell the speed, the wheels, does a great job getting down the field, making a huge rushing play.
Pulls and fires it complete to the right. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-game land.
In defense, you have to have great eyes. You have to have good vision on the quarterback to be able to see it. You can tell he's throwing the football right now. Watch the defense react, come up, get the wide receiver on the ground. He goes nowhere.
Looking to throw on second down. Right down the middle. He's got it. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31.
You know, the defense, they just haven't been able to find an answer for this guy throughout the course of the game. Obviously, he's got 2 touchdowns, picks up the first down there. They've tried doubling him. They've tried man coverage, zone coverage. Nothing working on defense. They can't stop him.
The Bears have this offense rolling. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Quick pass on the jet motion. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. Stuck with a running game on first down. Now here they come again. Defense playing a bail technique. On second down, they'll take to the air. Going to try to get it himself. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. There to stop him after a pickup of 3. It's down to the 15. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Wide out in motion. Someone moved a little early and the offense will go backwards. So the decision has been made and the coach will take the penalty. And now on second down for this offense. Motion trying to get the defense to show its hand. Push down for the tackle.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the offense was going to be able to dig themselves out of this hole, but on 2nd in California, they dial up the running play, now setting up 3rd and short.
Offense breaks the huddle. It's 3rd down.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. With the score, Baylor 41, TCU 31.
Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. On 3rd and short, they'll ride the running back here. The offense coughs it up. Now the defense has got it, and they're going the other.
Man, you go from perfect position of strength. I get to salt this clock away. I get to run this out. I'm going to win to, man, now I got to put my defense back on the field, and anything can happen, right, in football, and you can catch breaks, and so now you got to go out and earn it. You had this thing under wraps.
To have any chance in the world, this defense has to come up with a stop on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Dragged down at the 6 after a pickup of 2.
And you know exactly what time it is when you get down here in the red zone. be able to run the football, but when you got a back like this who punches the ball in the end zone consistently almost every single game, you are going to feed that animal the rock.
Motion from the offense. The run up the middle, looking for the score. Touchdown, Baylor! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. That score pushes this out to a comfortable margin, and they are oh so close to a 10-game winning streak.
And this running back is so dangerous down close to the end zone. He's got wiggle, he's got great vision and burst, and he showed all of those attributes right there.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. Hawaii is down, but they are not out of it. Not there in Oahu, one of the more majestic places to watch a game in all of college football. It's a tight one right now. They're trailing by only 5 to Wyoming. We are the eyes and ears of the college football fan, and we've got you covered all day here in studio, guys.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
And a great job by the defense, dropping in zone coverage, all eyes on the quarterback, taking away the options, and then finally the pass rush gets home, gets him on the ground.
And they're going to be in a world of hurt if they don't get this thing going forward here on 2nd down from the 13. Looking downfield, it's Everett. Gets it out quickly. Makes the catch, and he's brought down.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Unloads to the wideout. And that is interception number 3 on the day. What a nice play on the pick. Didn't find much running room. They'll let it slide. They've got it at the 29. Here comes the Baylor offense back onto the field. There wasn't much need to throw it around on that last drive for the touchdown, Jesse. They got it done running the ball.
And David, I don't think you have to overthink this thing. If they can't stop you running it, why would you stop handing it off? Just keep at it here on this drive.
Well, and if I'm the defense, I'm making some changes. I'm bringing in more big bodies. I'm playing more aggressive towards the line of scrimmage. I am not going to let them have that kind of drive again.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
He'll do it himself. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea. Because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very difficult to catch, as you saw in that last play, getting a first down.
And the Bears trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. From the gun, he'll try to throw. They're bringing heat. Touchdown, Bears! And the pummeling has started. That ought to be enough to make this lead insurmountable, and with it, they'll be a perfect 10-0.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the 4th quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
analytics here, and you go for 2. He's going to be stopped short of the goal line. The two-point attempt is no good as they are unable to extend the lead. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Bringing it back. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, move it behind you. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think he can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
And this offense has got to kick it in high gear now. Making a big play, that is great, but we got to go up-tempo. We got to go fast. We're trailing big in this ball game. We got to put a lot of drives together and maybe even get lucky with an onside kick.
He wants to throw. Got his man on the right. Open space at the 25. He gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A terrific catch and run before he stops. And, Jesse, there's a huge mountain to climb here, but you might as well start with a chunk play.
Well, you got to start somewhere, Reese. It's been tough going for this offense all game long. They find themselves in a hole, but I love the aggressive nature. Keep taking shots. Keep trying to claw your way back into this one.
The Horned Frogs in the hurry-up. Scanning the field, it's Everett. And it's picked off for the 4th time today. He's at the 50. At the 30. He's at the 10. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Baylor! The league grows, and you can sense they know how important wins are this late here in Week 11.
Dude, you didn't think it could get any worse, right? You thought this game's over as it is anyways. Offense still throwing the football, still trying to make plays, and the defense just continues to pour it on, gets the pick, makes its way all the way to the end zone.
And now they'll try to get the two-point conversion, guys. He's into the end zone for the 2 and extends the lead.
How about that for a momentum swing? Defense gets the pick 6, offense comes right back on the field, and they get the 2-point conversion.
Fielded in the end zone. It's McCullough. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback.
Will take over 1st and 10.
TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. That last pick 6 after a drive like that, David, can swing the momentum of a game.
The defense is still celebrating. I mean, such a big play. I mean, they gave up some yards but did what they're supposed to do. Now, Jesse, this offense has to put a drive together.
Yeah, they have to recapture some momentum here. What they can't do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back.
9-yard pickup on 1st down, and now they can take a shot on 2nd and short. Right back to the well. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a 1st down at the 38. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. The give to the lone running back. Solid fundamentals on that tackle from this freshman. 2 minutes now left in this one, and time is running short if they want to find a way to pull this one out. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Now they're going to throw it. Moving away from pressure. He's going to take off. And he earns a first down, and boy, did he earn it after taking that lift.
That's how you earn your first down the hard way. Really good job by the QB dropping back to pass, scrambling, getting the first down, but taking a big shot at the end.
And the Horned Frogs will snap it on 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. He'll pull it down. And it'll be a short game, but no need to take a big hit there on the scramble.
And I think this is important for this defense. This will be a big key in the football game. Like, I got to limit the damage from that guy. Because that's a QB that's dynamic, and he can make so many big plays. I got to string him out. I got to make him get to the sideline. But I will say this. I do want to hit him at the end of the runs. I don't want to let him out of bounds and let him get free carries. I want it to be physical.
And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield. The defense calls the timeout, their second of the day, as they try to get their act together. Now facing a 3rd and long from the 50-yard line. Quarterback will audible. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like, they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. He looks that one in nicely. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down. Everybody has to be set. They have to get it off. Wants to throw on 1st down. Looking down the middle. Finds a tight end. Right on the money with that throw. The defense was there, but they are in the red zone with a first down at the 12. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. Quick pass on the fly motion. And he'll take it in for the touchdown. It won't have much impact on the outcome of the game, but it is a fabulous parting gift, a consolation prize, if you will. This game is almost certainly decided already, but the good news is for the next game, guys still flying around, still playing hard, not really hanging their heads.
Long season. This is early in the season. Still got plenty of time. Still find out which plays you like, which you don't, and keep running them, keep getting better at them. So use this as practice.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Arguably the game of the week, fellas, with 2 top 25 teams locking horns. OHIO. Ohio State is up big right now in what's shaping up to be a blowout to remember. They're up by 28 over Nebraska. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this one.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. They have dropped a hush on this entire stadium, David, by controlling this game.
And there's nothing like shutting up the home crowd. You love it. Nothing like having a big lead in the 4th quarter, Palmer, and not having to stress or worry.
Yeah, really impressive just seeing how they're able to take everything from the practice field this week and apply it to game day. They've been locked.
He's going to let one fly down the middle. And he makes the catch inside the 10. The tackle is made, but he's got it 1st and goal from the 6. They are in no mood to show any mercy as they keep flexing their muscle on offense.
Up big in the fourth quarter, and you just keep taking shots down the field. That tells you something, okay? You can take what you want from it, but this offense definitely not interested in running clock, interested in making a point.
Wide receiver shows motion. On the option. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
And they'll try to tack on two. Dropping back, it's Lawrence. He's got the two-point conversion, and they build on that lead. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. And he got into the house from the 6 to finish it. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. From inside his own 15, let's see how far he can get. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are...
And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13. The defense will use a timeout here. There are 16 seconds left to play. This could have the earmarks of a wasted drive if they don't come up with something on second down from the 13. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Lining up to convert third down. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Buys a little extra time. And that pass will be incomplete, and time has run out on this game. No matter how much college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff, rivalries are consistent, and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they hate each other so much. So you take the field against your rival. You're able to put forth a performance like that. That is worth its weight in gold, David. Unbelievable effort here by the winning team, and bragging rights now for a while.
Bragging rights for a while. It's a fun thing to be able to accomplish. Now we also got to take in the next couple games, because this is always